For the majority of this season, we've been taking solace in European races and relegation avoidance, as there was seemingly no title race to get too heavily invested in. However, after another Arsenal slip-up, this time at the hands of Bournemouth, that is seemingly not the case. And right now, Man City have everything to play for. I'm Conor McCabe, joined as ever by my co-pilot, Lucas Dzinski. Lucas, we watched the Arsenal debacle in a very friendly pub called the Beehive just before we went to the Brentford game on Saturday. How much enjoyment did you get from that 2-1 defeat? It was pretty evident to me.
Oh, mate, I was buzzing, honestly. It was so good. It's just like watching Arsenal downfall was just the best thing ever. I don't think any person, apart from Arsenal fans, want Arsenal to win.
Well, is another capitulation on the cards. Either way, it sets us up beautifully to talk a little bit later in the pod about the biggest game of the season. And we've actually got 13 games in total with an extended game week to get our teeth into. So we're going to be moving at a brisk pace, and we're going to start straight away with your boys, Brentford versus Fulham. What a choker that late equaliser was. Is Champions League still a possibility for Brentford?
Not sure. Not with the current form we have. We're really struggling. We've drawn 4 on a trot now. Playing Fulham at home, like this is again like a must win. I think if Brentford win, then it could be back on.
Okay.
But we need to win every game. We got some tough games. We've still got Liverpool to play away. We've still got City to play away. We've got West Ham at home, Palace at home. So some difficult games, but we need to start picking up results.
I mean, Liverpool away might be a friendlier fixture the way things are going with them at this time.
Yeah. I mean, Liverpool away is not too... No, I wouldn't say that's too difficult these days.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I completely agree with you. This is a must-win. I don't have an angle on this one. But I will... And Fulham are such a nightmare team to punt with or against. It's hard to know what you're going to get. I'd tip up a narrow home win, but not with a huge amount of confidence. Let's talk Leeds versus Wolves. I mean, what a result for Leeds at Old Trafford. Are they out of it now?
I think they're too good to go down. They just look like such a better organised team. Like going forward at the back, they just look so much better. It was a really good game, to be honest. I always said throughout the season that Leeds too good to go down. In my opinion, in terms of like the results. Obviously, the results at the start of the season weren't great, but they were playing like really good football, whereas the other teams weren't really doing that. So look, I'm not surprised they're out of the scrap. Saying that, they've still got some big games. I think they've still got to play Burnley and Wolves. So
This is it. They're on 36 points at the moment. They're 6
they are playing. Obviously, they're playing Wolves now, but yeah, and then they got Burnley as well. So look, I think they're safe. Obviously, not safe, but you know they got a good run.
As good as safe. I mean, they're on 36 points. They're 6 clear of Tottenham. As you mentioned, they've got Wolves at home here. If they somehow don't win that, then they've got Burnley at home to come. They've dug in. They've got some big results over the course of the last few months. The Old Trafford result was absolutely massive. Deserved their win there, and yeah, I think we can count them out of the relegation fight. For me now, it's 1 from 3, and that is Tottenham, West Ham, Nottingham Forest. But we'll talk about each of them as we go. I think Leeds will beat Wolves at home. I think they'll ride the wave from Old Trafford, won't they?
Look, 39. If they win this, they're probably safe, right? 39 points.
Yeah.
Probably enough historically, right? Probably. I mean, look, they win that, then they're basically 90% there, right? So this is going to be a cup final for them, and rightly so. Yeah. Saying that, I have backed Burnley to finish bottom, so look, hopefully they don't win this and then they smash Burnley.
Cool. I mean, what an incentive, as you say, though, to secure safety in front of their own fans, because 39 points would definitely be enough. All right, we have, and I think they will, by the way. I think they'll beat Wolves. Let's talk Newcastle versus Bournemouth.
Sporting just hit the post.
Oh, wow. We are running this simultaneously to the Champions League game. Yeah. Anywho, let's talk Newcastle versus Bournemouth, the Eddie Howe derby. And talking of managers, we have upheaval at Bournemouth. What's your take on the Iraola situation?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good manager, so I guess he wants a team in Europe, I'd say. Weirdly, Palace have come in and apparently tabled like a massive offer. Um, I'm not sure if you. I'm not sure. That's a bit of a sideways step to me, to be honest. Even if they
Yeah.
might win it and be in Europa League, I still think there's a bit of a sideways step.
I'd rather manage Bournemouth now than Palace.
Yeah. In terms of like the way the club is structured, recruitment, etc., like Bournemouth's like 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's that stage of career. You know, he wants to progress, but I don't know where he'd go. Like, not. I don't think there's any jobs in England.
The big one is Newcastle, right?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
they're talking, ironically, because Bournemouth play Newcastle here, but it's
yeah.
some
I mean,
interesting.
the only job you could take in England's Newcastle, right? So
And that would be a nice next step after Bournemouth,
yeah,
actually. Quite like that. The one thing I would say is apparently rumours out coming out of the Newcastle hierarchy is that there's quite a lot of Jose Mourinho fans there. So that's a job that Mourinho would love.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
can
would
see
love
that
to
happening.
see him back in the Prem, but
It would be filthy, but
yeah,
it's the sort of thing that you can absolutely see happening. I think personally, Iraola will go back to Spain and manage Athletic Bilbao, which is
yeah.
a Basque region team, which is where he's from, and there's already been rumours around that. But what a job he has done at Bournemouth. Of that, there is no doubt. Bournemouth tried everything to keep him, so you can't really, place much blame at the foot of the board of the chairman with that.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. But their recruitment will be really important there. I mean, they're talking up Kieran McKenna, who's coming in on the odds. That would worry me a lot if they were to go for him. Not saying he's a bad manager, but little to no Premier League experience. Not having an okay season with Ipswich, not an unbelievable season. Not sure that
Maybe Bournemouth have a good setup like Brentford, right? Who knows? And maybe
McKenna could do all right.
down to the manager, right? Who knows? I
Maybe.
doubt it, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe Bournemouth isn't such a terrible next step for McKenna. I mean, you were talking United and Chelsea at the start of last season for him, right? Which was ludicrous, but maybe Bournemouth's not a terrible step for him.
Look, I mean, stranger things have happened, right? Vincent Company at Bayern Munich, so there you go.
There you go, set example, and he's done. I mean, he's done all right there. In terms of the game, what are you saying? Give him a prediction.
I think there's a bit of value on Bournemouth plus a half, so I'll be backing that at 1.89. I think Newcastle, they're in a rut and a big one, and I don't see them coming out of it this game. And Bournemouth on the high. I think they're playing some really good football against some good teams, so I expect them to maybe get a draw. I can't see Newcastle winning here, to be honest.
Okay, interesting. It's not an official tip, but I actually think the opposite. I think that Bournemouth,
Really?
with the manager news, yeah, I think that will hit the players. I think that will be a bit of a stumbling block in terms of how they're doing. Their XG is papering over. Sorry, they're papering over the cracks with regards to their XG. I know they were unbelievable at the Emirates, but before then they should have conceded 11 goals in their last three games. So they are overperforming. This feels like a home game for Newcastle to potentially get back on track. It's just an inkling, but I feel like
Newcastle have been so bad, though. So bad.
I mean, play one of your strikers for a start, but
Terrible at Palace. Against Sunderland at home, they were horrific as well.
yeah, yeah. Again, I've not got a huge amount of confidence behind it, hence it's not a
Draw
tip. It's just a
1-1.
feeling. Let's move on and talk Tottenham versus Brighton. I mean, Tottenham need a minimum of 2 wins to stay up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read out their remaining fixtures to you, and I want you to say either win or no win after each one. All right?
Yeah.
So Brighton at home,
So you said win or
win or no win?
no
Right?
win?
No win. Okay. Wolves away.
No win.
Okay. Villa away.
No win.
Leeds at home.
No win.
Chelsea away.
No win.
And Everton at home.
Win.
Okay, so you're giving them 1 win on the last day. All right.
Yeah. I'll be so. They're a mess. Romero's injured out. I think he's going to be out for the season now as well. So I don't see how they get points at this rate. I really don't.
I think the next Brighton at home I think is a really, really tough game. But
I don't think they'll win that. Maybe a draw.
I agree. But then, and I also would write off Villa away and Chelsea away because I don't think they'll get points there, right? But the two that I look at for them personally, Wolves away, right?
Wolves not been bad the last 6 games or so, 8 games.
Well, they got absolutely tanked by West Ham.
Yeah, they did get tanked. But look,
I'm not saying they definitely will, right? I'm just trying to identify. I'm trying to play.
That's a draw, that game. That's a draw.
You think? I mean, the other one that I think is a big one is Leeds at home. And the reason why that's the third last game of the season, there's an excellent chance that Leeds will be safe by then, right? So if that is the case, then I think Leeds at home becomes a win, right?
Or maybe Leeds might be playing for the draw, right? They're like, look, as long as we don't lose, we're fine then. So that could be interesting.
But listen, they could be on the beach, right? They could be on the beach.
Yeah, they could be. They could be.
And while I hear your points on Wolves improving, right, they're still bottom of the league, below a Burnley team, which is one of the worst I've ever seen. So just below. Ultimately, while I hear you that it might be a draw, it's also not inconceivable that Spurs beat Wolves away and Leeds at home, right? That would be 2 more wins, and then you still got Everton at home on the last day, depending on what's going on with them in terms of the Europe.
Well, yeah, exactly. Everton's a tough game, so maybe that's not a win at all.
But the point I'm making is there's still everything to play for Spurs. People are talking like Spurs are gone. They're not gone at all, right? And that doesn't even change too much if they don't beat Brighton here. I think they have bigger games to come, which I think they're better chance of winning. So I don't know if Spurs will stay up, but they are still right there in the hunt. I agree with you on this game. I think Brighton should get some point from this, particularly against De Zerbi. You know, they won't want to let him beat him. And they'll set up and to hit Tottenham on the counter. I think Brighton have got better players than Tottenham, if I'm being completely honest. So even an away win here wouldn't absolutely shock me. But even if that happens, I still think Spurs are in the fight.
Yeah, I got Brighton 0 and age handicap 1.8, so draw your money back. So
is that an official tip?
Yep.
There you go. All right, let's talk next game. Chelsea versus United. Just a quick one from me, because I know you've got an official tip, so you want to talk about this too. United's game against Leeds on Monday. I actually put quite a lot of the blame at the hands of Lisandro Martinez, because yes, Leeds were otherworldly in the first half and could have had it wrapped up. But I think United came back strongly second half, and with 11 men might have actually got something from the game. In terms of Carrick's interview afterwards, right, I completely get defending your players. Alex Ferguson used to make a living off doing that and then roasting them in private, and maybe that's what Carrick's done. But to label a sending off that involved a hair pull as ridiculous and one of the most ridiculous decisions I've ever seen is not a clever comment. Like, pick your battles with the officials, right? A hair pull is a hair pull. It doesn't matter how strong the hair pull is. It's the action itself, which is deemed violent, which is deemed poor behaviour, and it regardless of the strength of it, any hair pull equals red card in the eyes of the law. It's a little bit like, I would compare it to spitting. You know, you try and spit at somebody, but maybe only a tiny bit comes out and you get them. It's still
I think spitting is a lot worse than.
No, agree. Of course it is, but the intent is still the point, right? If you and ultimately hair pulling is along similar-ish lines, and of course it was a very soft hair pull, but it's still a hair pull, and you're never going to get that decision overruled. So just choose your battles with the official, because if you start contesting ones like that, it makes it harder to you to contest real ones when you actually need to. But yeah, in terms of this game, I think with Maguire, an extra game suspension, that's a killer, because we really missed him against Leeds. Obviously Martinez out. The defence will be patched up. United's best route forward in this game is to play will score more than you. Don't try and keep it tight. Don't try and keep your shape. Chelsea aren't that great. Go for the jugular in this game and try and win it 4-3. That's what I would do, because we have the firepower to hurt Chelsea. So start strong and get after them. That's how I would go into this game.
Enzo's back as well for Chelsea. I think this is a good really opportunity for Chelsea to get back to winning ways, and then I'm back in Chelsea -1.25. Prices come in a bit to 1.96, so I'll probably jump on that because I think it's going to be moving in that direction, especially when I expect it. I expect at the press conference probably tomorrow or Friday, whenever it'll be. They'll say that Enzo's going to be in the mix with the team. So, yeah, like massive weakening at the back. So team news is in favour of Chelsea. So yeah, I think Chelsea -1.25 is a good bet.
Cool. There you go. A second official tip. Moving on, we've got Aston Villa versus Sunderland. No strong feelings on this one. The only thing I would say is Brian Brobby, really, really putting himself about against Spurs. I mean, that incident where he's pushed the defender into the goalkeeper from about a yard away when they're running at speed should have been straight red for me. That is dangerous. And yeah, he had another couple of incidences as well. So maybe you want to check out his files markets. At the moment, there's not a huge amount of value, but also I expect defenders to try and stamp their authority on Robbie. So don't be afraid to look at him in the files against market as well in terms of being fouled. I think there could be a little bit of value there. In terms of the game, probably a narrow home win for me. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Everton versus Liverpool, Merseyside derby. Do you want to go?
Yeah, Everton have been quite good recently, to be honest. Liverpool haven't on the other side, on the on the other page. I don't think there's too much between these teams. It's a derby, so anything can happen. But I have Liverpool as marginal favourites at 0.17 goals better. So I do expect this to be a very tight game and probably a draw. Ekitike's out for the season, which is a massive blow. I know Isak's back, but look, he's still got a long way to go to be kind of match fit. So Ekitike out is a massive loss. And look, both teams have a lot to play for. So probably a draw.
Okay, I mean, I have got an official tip on this one. Ekitike, by the way, not just the season, he's out for 9 months. Like 9 months,
Yeah,
that's a long time. That's a hammer blow because of all of Liverpool
out for the year, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean Liverpool's recruitment has obviously last summer hasn't worked out a lot of it, but there's one bit that has. Like I think he's been really good this year, Ekitike. So for him to be out for 9 months, they really haven't had the roll of the dice with injuries. But I like Everton here at home. Huge derby, home to their biggest rivals. Liverpool in free fall, didn't play too badly in the second leg against PSG, but the feeling still was that PSG didn't really get out of second gear and were fairly comfortable throughout the time, and they've gone through 4-0 on aggregate. So Liverpool, they just don't fill me with any confidence whatsoever, and I don't think a derby right now, confidence is low. Game plans are being called into question. I don't think a trip to Everton is what they need right now, and I think for Everton, they'll sense that Liverpool are in a really weak moment, and I think Moyes will go for it. I'm happy to get Everton on side here at 3.1. I think it's a fair price. I expect Everton to win this game. Let's talk very quickly about Forest Burnley. I mean, in terms of Forest, I think they should have enough to stay up. They currently have a 3-point gap to Tottenham. One win will put them very close. Then they've got 5 more games to effectively get 2 to 3 more points. This surely has to be that game at home to Burnley, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're playing Porto tomorrow at home, which is helpful. If they were playing away and had this game, that would be a disaster. I mean, this is a 9-pointer for them. They need to win this game. They have to. I have them a whole goal better than Burnley, so I expect them to win this comfortably. I think the market's probably priced it correctly, even though it's just weird seeing Forest at 1.5 at home. But there you go. Look, I really hope they completely smash Burnley because I need Burnley to finish bottom. As mentioned several times.
Yeah, we all know that. I mean, when we look at Forest's remaining Premier League games, after Burnley at home, they've got Sunderland away, Chelsea away, Newcastle at home, United away, and Bournemouth at home. That's actually not bad for me because if you look at Sunderland away, I think there's definitely points up for grabs there. Chelsea away, Chelsea have struggled against a lot of the lower sides at home. Newcastle at home, that feels like a great fixture.
Yeah. I think that's probably 3 points in the bag.
Newcastle United away is probably quite tough, but then Bournemouth at home last game of the season. Again, Bournemouth likely on the beach by then. It's not a horrendous run in for Forest.
Don't know. Bournemouth, I mean, it's so tight. Anyone can get European football, right? Bournemouth could be in the mix there.
They could, in fairness, yeah. That being said, obviously this is a very, very, very important game, and if they do get over the line here, you'd really fancy Forest to get the necessary points they need. So I get the Porto game, but this is a bigger game. Staying in the Premier League is more important than Europa League semi-final. So I personally think Forest should get it done against Burnley. Now we move on to the big game. It's Man City versus Arsenal, as if it needed an introduction. What is your take, not only on this, but what's your take on the title race?
I mean, Arsenal just completely bolted it. I feel like they're clearly just massively rattled. The fans are rattled. The fans were booing them after the Bournemouth game. I mean, yeah, they lost, but they're so far ahead. Like, the fans need to get behind the team. This is going to be a generational bottle, honestly. If they don't, all they need to do is draw this game. If City win this game, even though City have the easier fixtures, even though Arsenal have the easier fixtures, I think it's going to be a big wobble. This is a title decider, and I think Arsenal are going to set up for the draw here.
100%. I'm really glad you said that because I could not agree with you more. Just on Arsenal first, if you look at Arteta's record every single April, particularly when a title race is a title is within shot, his record is absolutely terrible. And it's really hard to put your finger on why that is. Is it pressure?
Pep's amazing.
Is it pressure? It probably plays some sort of role. But I personally think what it is it's the amount of exertion that goes on through the season. And I don't just mean physical exertion. I actually mean more mental exertion. Time and time again around December, around January, we see Arteta capering around the touchline, getting very overexcited, investing so much emotional energy himself that it boils down to his players. And they get a win over the line in December or January, and they all jump around like they've won the league already. And it's those highs and lows, and you're investing so much at that point that emotionally, I think Arsenal are a little bit burnt out when it comes to this stage in April every year. And I think that's what really, really hurts them. It doesn't sound like a big thing, but when you're on such a roller coaster of emotions throughout the season to this point, and you compare it with what you've just said, Pep being a genius, he rotates very hard, never gets kind of two up or two down. A lot of the time it's just very matter of fact. His mentality is just bang on point. And it's at this stage of the season where Pep can go, right, now we're going to go up another gear. Arteta can't do that because Arsenal have been going up and down through the gears like a yo-yo all season. And I personally think that's a massive factor on why they struggle so much towards the end of the season. In terms of this game, Arsenal would snap your hand off at a draw. And in the same way, I think City would snap your hand off at any win because they have the games to get the goal difference on side.
They have to win. City have to win.
They have to win, but they'd snap your hand off at any win. And this definitely leads us into betting territory, right? Because if it's 0-0, Arsenal will set up to defend, survive the first 20, take it bit by bit, basically take no risks, two banks of four. Bank of four, bank of two sat in behind, the double pivot of Rice and Zubimendi.
Two banks of five.
Something like that. The double pivot with Rice and Zubimendi and basically try and keep it 0-0 as long as possible. They don't have the pace or the quality in the forward players at the moment to hurt City on the counter, so I don't worry too much about City in transition at this game, particularly with Rodri coming back on form. So this game is basically all about when City break the deadlock and if they can. And when that happens, I don't think City will go hell for leather to get a second, right? So what this points to is effectively a very low-scoring game. So here's the staking.
Very, very cagey game.
Correct. So here's the staking plan, right? Your main bet in this game should be under 2.5 goals, which is currently a very generous 1.98 on the exchanges.
Okay.
Right? So the bulk of your stake should be there. But then we come in with a smaller stake, probably about half of your main stake, on under 1.5 goals. Because I think 1-0 City is a very high probability for this game also, where you can get 3.9. And we're also then going to wager a smaller portion again, probably around a quarter of main stake, on under 0.5 goals, aka 0-0 correct score. which is available at 13.5 on the exchange. We
I
back all.
I can't see it being. There's definitely going to be a goal. It's not going to finish 0-0.
I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't, right? And ultimately, I think Arsenal's defensive record this season, despite a couple of wobbles of late, has been sensational. And they'll go there to set up and shut City out. And if
Yeah,
you offer, if you,
sure. But City are going to be they're going to be ultra attacked. They're going to be leaving players like leaving themselves wide open, right? So
but
Arsenal
again,
can easily get one on the break.
I don't feel like they can. Like who's playing well for Arsenal in a forward position right now?
No one, but like they can still on
And
the
they don't have
break. They
bags
can
of.
still
And
do it on the break, right? They can
they
still
don't
on the
have
break.
bags
I'm
of.
just saying, like they don't need to be super good, right? If you got no one at the back and it's like 85 minutes and City are like we have to score a goal.
I don't see it. I don't think Arsenal score in
I
this
can't
game.
wait to watch this game.
It's going to be a cracking. Well, I don't think it is going to be a cracking game. I think it's going to be an intriguing game.
Yeah.
But I'm really confident on this bet. I don't see how Arsenal have the Arsenal's most biggest threat at the moment is through set pieces. Yes, and it's ultimately getting their defensive players into more advanced positions where actually they start, and their fullbacks who are excellent going forward. That's when they can start to hurt teams. City are going to have them penned in here, and Arsenal then rely on the quality of the forward men to get out and create something and make something happen.
Gyökeres, isn't it? Best player. What do you mean?
Gyökeres has got
Best
no
striker.
pace.
Best striker in the world, isn't it?
He's got no pace. I mean, him versus Gehi and Diaz or whoever plays.
Yeah, he's gonna
Like
completely smash him up.
ultimately, the biggest threat to my bet is not Arsenal scoring for me. It's City scoring too many. So ultimately, anyway, back under 2.5, under 1.5 smaller, and under 0.5 because all three bets are definitely a runner.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Palace versus West Ham. What are you saying?
It's hard to know what's going to happen. I feel like Palace are going to be. They obviously got their eyes on Conference League now, so they're probably just going to like. You could see against Newcastle they rotated quite a bit, but then they did bring on the big guns later on, and they got a result. Look, obviously West Ham will be more up for it. I have Palace as favourites by 0.38 goals, so I expect probably to edge this, but the motivational factor is going to be massive. The rotation as well, so look, I can see it going West Ham. Just because of that, I'm happy to leave it.
Yeah, I don't really have an angle on this game, but again, let's do the same thing where we look at West Ham's fixtures because they're tough, right? They're really tough. With Palace being so invested in the Conference League, I actually think this is almost must win for West Ham, even though they're 2 points above Spurs. Because listen to these fixtures, right? Palace away, Everton at home, right? Brentford know how tough that is. Brentford away.
Yeah, we need to win that badly.
Listen, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away.
Arsenal at home. Oh, that'll be so good if they get something that game. That'll be so good.
You wouldn't rule it out, but you wouldn't count on it. Newcastle away, and then final game of the season is the only one that I look at as a good option for a potential win, which is Leeds at home.
When Leeds are
safe.
Right.
So they've not got many options. So actually,
they need to go all out.
They need to get a win here for me against. Well, they need to get something.
Yeah.
They need to get something. They can't lose this game, or they're in serious trouble. But right now, looking at the fixtures, you'd almost still, in my mind, I've got West Ham earmarked as favourites for the drop now, even though they're showing the fight that they are. But there might be a little bit of value, I think, in terms, particularly if they lose this game against Palace. There might be a little bit of value in West Ham because Tottenham are clear favourites with the bookies.
Yeah, the thing is, if they lose this game, then
I think they're in trouble.
Price will be gone, right?
I just think they're in trouble, West Ham, because if you look at Tottenham's fixtures, for me, there's winnable games there. With West Ham's, I don't see many. So that's I think this is a huge fixture for West Ham, particularly playing on the fact that Palace have the Conference League. Brighton versus Chelsea. I have an angle for this one. I want to back Brighton at home against Chelsea. I just don't like Chelsea at the moment. There's so much anger about Rafinha, about the board. And maybe they'll be coming off it in better frame of mind if they do what you think and beat United. But I just look at them and they look a bit lost to me as a club. Chelsea at the moment, the biggest players like Palmer just has actually been, by his standards at least.
Yeah, what you reckon? You reckon he's just thinking of a move?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know if he feels like he can achieve everything he wants to at Chelsea. There's so much upheaval, so much change around. There's no confidence and faith in the board. Rafinha doesn't seem to be allowed to make any of his own decisions. I feel a bit sorry for him in that aspect. And I just don't have any confidence or faith in Chelsea at the moment. Brighton's always a tough place to go as well. They always raise their levels for the big games. I'm happy to back Brighton at 2.5.
I've got nothing in this, but I've got these teams very level, so I expect it to be a draw, to be honest.
Okay. Next one up is Bournemouth versus Leeds.
I mean, it could... To be honest, like if Leeds beat Wolves, then this is probably not as an important game. But if Leeds play the way they play against United, they're going to give Bournemouth a good game. Bournemouth are still an outside chance to make Europe. Well, probably not outside chance. It's probably quite equal. Like Brentford are 7th for 47, and then Bournemouth are 11th for 45. So it's really tight. So look, they're going to be going for that game. I have them as slight favourites, 0.3 goals better. So I expect this to be a tight game. I think the market's probably more or less there, so I don't see any value. But this should be a decent game with two teams playing pretty attacking.
Yeah, 100% agree with that last bit. I think it'll be a really good game here. I tell you what, Leeds in the first half against United, one of the best performances I've seen from a team against us.
Very clinical.
All season. They were and they weren't, right? They went in 2-0 up, but they'll be disappointed because they could have gone in 3 or 4 up. They played some electric stuff, particularly down the flanks, the likes of Goodmanson, the likes of Bogle, the likes of Justin. They're all at it, and you don't know where they're coming from. Yeah. They're actually a really fun team to watch. I like Calvert-Lewin as well. He gets himself into the scoring position so much, and he's great at getting on the end of crosses. So, Bournemouth, of course, there are a few key centre-backs down from this season. I wouldn't be against looking at Calvert-Lewin's markets in this game. And also Okafor. I know he's an obvious shout because he scored 2 against us, but he doesn't still seem to be rolling off too many people's tongue. So it's another goal-scoring / shots on target market that you might want to consider. I actually think Leeds will win this game. I think it'd be 2-1 to Leeds. We wrap things up with Burnley versus Manchester City. For me, we said the last game is going to be good. I think this game will be dull. Burnley will obviously give it everything. City will simply care about the win and nothing else. City will play with a bit in reserve, try and wrap it up by half time and hold on. It feels to me like a 1 or a 2-0 City. Get out, job done, 3 points.
Yeah. I mean,
cool. All right, let's summarize. From my side, I've got 3 bets. I've got Everton to win the Merseyside derby at 3.1. I've got Brighton to win at home to Chelsea at 2.5. And in the Arsenal Man City title decider, I've got under 2.5 goals at 1.98. I've got under 1.5 goals at 3.9. And I've got the 0-0 draw at 13.5. Back them all. You will make money on that game, I promise. You're up.
Got Bournemouth plus a half at 1.89, Brighton 0 at 1.8, and Chelsea minus quarter at 1.96. So 3-3 this week. But
good stuff. Where are you going to watch the title decider?
Not sure yet.
Are you going to purchase a Man City shirt just for the occasion?
Yeah, I'll get a half and half City, half Brentford, and wear it when we go to City.
Oh my God.
We did our bit. We drew. We should have beaten them at home, to be honest. So we've done our bit.
Very true. All right, that's it from us. 13 games done and dusted. Plenty of tips to get your teeth into. Run well. Enjoy your football. and take care of yourselves.
Cheers.